Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Litecoin and its valuation against Bitcoin. Yesterday, Bitcoin did shoot up to $16,500 around that area, and today we are seeing a quite green day for altcoins. If you look on my right, Ethereum against Bitcoin is up 3%. Link is up almost just over 3%. Uniswap is at over 20%. Basic attention tokens 4%. Celsius is down. Cardano is up. XRP is even up. And coming in at one of the top gainers for today, as of right now, at the time of recording, is Litecoin. And you can see this is a pretty large candle. And if you're a Litecoin holder, this looks pretty good for you. However, I don't want you to get caught up in the minutia because as we've seen before, and as you're perfectly aware, we have had these random uh, accelerations of price against Bitcoin. We saw it here. Ultimately, though, the price is trending downwards. This is on the daily. If we move it to the weekly chart, you'll see it more clearly. Look at that. You'd be down like 80-ish% from that local top. Not from the local top, from the top back in 2018. You'd be down at the current price around 83%, roughly, and to the local bottom, it's almost 85%. However, we know this, and we know that Litecoin has a different kind of price chart history than um, than other altcoins. It's actually more so in comparison to charts like XRP. I can bring it up here, as well as basic attention token. And these are not, these are not bad. Nothing's gonna look like Ethereum. It's kind of screwed up by that wick there, or Chainlink. They're just different kinds of price. They're different kinds of charts that require different ways of trading them. And for Litecoin, there is uh, the key opportunity is essentially timing Litecoin based on where it is as well as what is Bitcoin doing. I know I say that to all altcoins, but with Litecoin, it's imperative to know what position Bitcoin is in, because essentially what you're really wanting to try to do is you're trying to replicate this. So when we see an 8% on the weekly chart, doesn't even make a difference. Doesn't really, like, that's the green candle on the weekly. Like, it doesn't make a difference. The macro trend still going down, and a 10%, 20% gain is not going to cut it. What we're really wanting to see, I can flip it back on the daily, is we're essentially trying to make if you really want a bullish case for Litecoin, the first thing it needs to do is try to make a higher high, a higher local high. So if the price is going down here, we're seeing a rebound, it kind of moves up and then makes a local top here and then comes back down and then stops and then continues up. That is considered a local high, like a higher high and a higher low in comparison to the local bottom. That's what we need to see with Litecoin. However, time and time again, since 2018, we have tried to make higher highs, but end up going straight back down. Where Litecoin is having a tough time making a reversal, and this is tough to watch, but this has happened before. It's happened here, it's happened here, and it's currently happening now. So uh, it's hard to watch, but you shouldn't be surprised if you look at the macro trend. So, with that said, where are we in this situation of Litecoin? When is the optimal time to buy? Well, the optimal time to buy, I would say, is trying to get it within this channel or even below. That's one condition. And the second condition is, well, what's Bitcoin doing? When we look at, for example, this, and you can also look at this as well on what Bitcoin was doing, but we'll use the 2017 as the the marker here for the example. When you look at what was Bitcoin doing in March of 2017, well, if you look, and it becomes very clear. That's where we were. And what does that line up to? It lines up to the previous all-time high of Bitcoin. And when we zoom in on the weekly, you'll see we saw Bitcoin go past its previous all-time high, retrace down, made it support, and then reversed and continued the trend. That's what we're looking at here. And because of that, we saw Litecoin just skyrocket 500+% from that bottom. Like if we take it to the wick, it's 640% from the candle body. You're looking at just over 500. That is a trade that I want to be a part of. As like negative, if you want to say that, I am about Litecoin. There are great opportunities for Litecoin, and it's trades that I want to be a part of. It's the same thing with XRP. XRP is not one I hold because it's the same kind of logic. Well, I don't want to hold it for the entire duration when I can have it just in Bitcoin, and I can buy more of it later, more XRP later, because it's going to have a lower valuation against Bitcoin. But those those moves are just so massive that it's going to be hard to ignore. Like I would honestly want to be a part of it. So what can we expect? Well, Bitcoin's currently at $16,000, just over it. What we would need, so for example, for argument's sake, we'll draw a line from the all-time from the all-time high. I got 19.2, but that's close enough. And we look at the current trajectory of Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin's on an extremely bullish trend. I would argue that at some point at or before $20,000, we're going to retrace. But for what we have right now, let's assume it does it. Let's assume that it just continues on, and it cuts through $20,000, shocking everybody, cutting it through like butter. When everyone was saying that we are going to get rejected, woe is us. We'll cry with the giant bags of money that we have, and it retraces down, and it goes back to our previous all-time high, and makes its support, and then it continues up. This is the area where then you'd want to look at Litecoin and be like, okay, where are we? Well, let's assume that if this is the trend, if Bitcoin continues its bullish trajectory, odds are all coins are going to believe heavily, and Litecoin's not going to be one of them. It's going to be among them. It's going to continue bleeding against Bitcoin. The dollar value might stay the same or go up, but the Bitcoin valuation's just going to keep on going down, and it might be here, or it could be below here. So if it's within this bottom half channel or below, and then you see Bitcoin past $20,000 and you see it testing the previous all-time high line, that's when the risky play comes in. That's when you take a good hard look at your portfolio and say, if you had $10,000, are you willing to chuck 10, 5, 10%, or whatever you're comfortable with? But in my view, I think 5% is plenty, 10% is plenty to risk. At that point, are you willing to let that go, throw it into Litecoin, and just see what happens in 2 months? Because as we've seen in previous times of Litecoin against Bitcoin, these shoot up extremely fast. This took 2 months to get from the bottom to the high. That took 2 months. If you take it from here and bring it up, or you can even bring it up to here, it took 15 weeks. Very short amount of time. So if looking at this, we're still a ways away. If you hold any Litecoin, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't really give you advice. It's up to you. You can dollar cost you can average down, you know, which you might have already been doing, considering, like, say you bought at the top, it was a pretty large position. You're like, look, I'm invested too heavily into Litecoin to let this thing go. So you're doubling down. You're averaging down. You bought down here. You saw it reverse. You're like, oh, this is it. You bought at the top, and it came back down, and you realize that's not it. So you continue to average your buys down, and hopefully, you get a position, um, that where the price average is at least, good enough for you, and you're satisfied with. Because um, another thing to consider is this descending line here. I'll change the color for the sake of differentiating it from the other lines. But we see this rough, descending line of support here with Litecoin. Um, and if say, in like a year and a half or something like that, so let's say July of 2021, maybe we can anticipate just a Litecoin valuation of 0.01259. And if you bought at the bottom channel and you brought it up, well, that's about a 300% move, which is still amazing. 300%, like, don't discount a forex move. Okay, don't discount that, because that's still pretty good. If you threw in $1,000, you got $4,000 worth of Bitcoin now. So manage your expectations, but this is just a friendly reminder of, yes, Litecoin's now up 9%. However, when you look at the grand scheme of things, we're still in a general downtrend, and it's not even a blip on the radar. It doesn't really change the trajectory whatsoever on the weekly chart. I bet it does look amazing on, like, the hourly. Like, we could flip it to the hourly, and you'll see, oh my God, look at that. But when you change it to the monthly or the weekly, like, it's still in a general downtrend. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button down below. If you really like the video, hit subscribe. I'll see you next time. Take care.